welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marina. I do mobile home living in a trailer park in Tennessee, and I'm on my way to make my mobile home a mobile mansion. One room at a time.
Your name is Peaches.
Peaches.
And not Cream.
No. We are not Peaches and Cream. We can come up with different stage names than that, but we are not Peaches and Cream. If it felt like I was in the middle of a tornado, it's because one of my kids had their fan on in the background. I usually don't do part 1, part 2, part 3 kind of videos because I don't usually like to watch part 1, part 2, part 3 in the videos. Like, just get the daggone thing done in one video. Like, you should be able to do that.
Get it done, Peaches!
Well, this video is going to be a series of videos because of the budget, and as well as some other things, time management as well. After we took down all the Christmas decor in the living room, we are left with a show house kind of living room. Unless you see the mess, like then you would be like, ah, somebody lives here. And that somebody lives here.
Listen, you don't need pictures when you got this.
So while we are doing a complete room makeover, we're doing a complete living room refresh slash makeover slash redecorate with me. We're doing all of those things, but we're doing it in increments to help sort of with the budget. I've kind of got to budget in some things. This makeover has started very small and it's just grown over time. So I need to like move my budget around, see what envelopes I can kind of pick from if I want to pick from them kind of thing, because I want to do it big in here. We need to do it big in here for several reasons that you will see in this series of videos. So this is part 1 of the living room makeover. So it's looking very asylum-y right now, like an insane asylum kind of place. Like it's very gray, cold, cool tones in here, and I can't live with that any longer. I need some sunshine in this house. So I don't usually go for colors in my house, but I do go for lighting. So we're going to be adding a lot of lighting in this series. We're going to be adding a lot of storage in this series because I am over just fitting something in every corner of my house. That ain't what we're about in 2023. We're about functionality. Is that a word? I think I've created that as a word on my videos because I'm not sure that the dictionary actually says that's a word, but I say that's a word. So I'm focusing on functionality. I've spoke a lot about that, especially in the last couple of weeks. That's what we're focusing on in this makeover. It's not really a makeover right now. So this video is a very small start to a very large makeover in this living room. So this one is small, but we're gradually going to be going up to bigger, way bigger projects. We decided to start on this side of the house because we thought it might be easier starting on this side rather than starting, you know, with the big old bang on the other side. As if we're going with my idea, the other side's going to be a big deal. My underwear showing. Sometimes that area between my back and my butt likes to eat my shirts, and it sets a whole new trend for clothes. Hey y'all are on live right now. Y'all are on the video. Say hi to yourselves. While there was a break in the voiceover and you actually got a piece of in time like footage, I went and Googled it, and functionality is a word, so I'm not so smart to make a word up like that. but that is what we're going for. I was live during these first moments in this video because I was really struggling with what I was going to do with this shelving. I knew what I wanted when it comes to like how it was going to be built, but I didn't know what color I wanted. I was either going between white or I was going between stained with my Jacobian stain. I inevitably went with the Jacobian stain because I love it so much, and I knew I was going to be adding lighting, some sort of lighting. I didn't know what kind of lighting at this point, but I knew I was going to be adding some sort of lighting to underneath the shelves, and I thought that the lighting would really play off of that Jacobian stain, and it really, really does. I may get a little eye about it because it is very close to my Jacobian beams, and I do have a lot of Jacobian stain there in that area. If I had just had the mantle that was stained Jacobian, I think I would have really never changed it. But it might get to where it's too much. I just don't want it to feel like a log cabin in here because that's just not the vibe I'm going for. But if it does end up being too much, then I figured, you know, if I go ahead and stain it, I can paint over stain, but I can't stain over paint. There's no stain over paint. Trust me, I have tried. So I had it live so that you guys could help me make that decision, and you guys actually did help me make that decision. I couldn't tally it up because there was like over 2,000 people in the chat, and I was trying to tally up because that's what I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to get on there and tally up everybody's answers. There was no way. But a lot of you guys in that chat said Jacobian, and it really got my mind to thinking, so that's what I decided to go with. Hey, Rebecca. Love you. Shane, what anime are you watching right now? I know what you have in the Amazon cart. You have like 5 different bleaches in the Amazon cart. I saw that the other day.
What am I watching currently?
Anime.
One Piece. Trying to get caught up on the English ones.
I need a stud finder.
Right here. Right here. Found!
Those are looking mighty good, Shane.
Thank you.
The inspiration for these shelves actually came from the girls' bedroom makeover. It was the floating shelves that we made. That is where the inspiration for these came from. I wanted that, but I wanted it smaller. Listen, the doomsday clock, did y'all see where it went to like 90 seconds to midnight? Y'all know what the doomsday clock is? I was like, they are not giving me enough time for Weight Watchers to settle in. I'm going to have me a double wide casket. And I'm not taking the mobile home algorithm that far, y'all.
They're like 90 seconds to the end of the world, and everybody's just like, ain't nobody got time for that right now.
I'll be right.
You're going to have to reschedule.
Watch that. Watch that be how I end up in my double wide.
Wait, what?
My double wide casket. I always say I want to get to double wide.
Gosh.
I'm going to get the double wide.
I thought you were saying like the end of the world was going to somehow
You
put
better
you in
have
the
them cut me up and place me like Tetris in there to where I can fit in one size. Y'all had me so like off the chain in that live. I was so distracted, but I enjoyed every minute of it because while we were talking about home improvements, we were also talking about doomsday clocks. We were talking about everything. This is what Shane made up for my vision. So I always give him a vision and he always puts it on paper. This is what he came up with to make it happen. So there's 3 sides, like long sides to the floating shelves, and there's 2 end caps. He drills those onto what he calls a brace, which is just a piece of wood he's drilled into the studs on our wall because mobile home walls are flimsy and you blow on them the wrong way and they just fall over. So he always attaches a brace when it comes to these sorts of shelves. Usually you do that in any house, but we make sure they're definitely anchored into the wall and into the studs to make sure that they're just secured so they're not falling down in the middle of the night or something, because we've had something like that happen before. Ask me how I know. But he just literally screws it into it once he slides it on there. It's as easy as sliding it onto the brace. That's how easy it is. You can see right here, he made sure he put the end caps on it and then he just drilled it down into the brace so it was more secure and it wasn't going anywhere. You can see by his happy dance, he's pretty proud of himself. I was proud of him too. We have to be very, very careful when it comes to this stuff because wood, especially when you're doing thin wood, splinters. You are 2 minutes from pricking your thumb.
2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'll make it 3 next time. Two minutes from pricking my
Leave
thumb.
me alone.
Leave me alone.
Oh, Shane, don't do that. You're really going to... You see what I'm talking about? That was a minute and a half. Be more professional. Ooh! I want you to stop. You stop.
Ah!
That was so delayed.
It was.
You scared Tater.
My father!
At the school.
How's it look?
Looks so good. These were the exact size. Shane found out how to do the exact size I wanted. We were a little bit concerned because once we found out what kind of lighting we were going to use, we figured out it was kind of going to have to be a little bit recessed. And thin shelves like this are just not made, especially when they're floating shelves, are not made to have recessed stuff in them, especially when they're on braces as close to these. I mean, these fit on the braces snug. So it was very, very interesting trying to figure out how to recess lights up in there because you don't have any room to play with. I'm going through and I'm taking some wood filler. I hate doing wood filler, but I hate shown screws more, so I have to do the wood filler. But I just go through and I basically finger paint them on there. I do not do this the professional way, much like Shane. Thank goodness that we're not in like an establishment where we're building people's houses because OSHA and we'd be in trouble for safety reasons. But I'm just painting on the wood filler on the screws and just doing it that way because it's easier for me. I had a time taking off the stickers. I actually forgot to take off one of the stickers and I stained over it, so I had to go back and I had to take off that sticker all over again, and it's more of a mess when you have stain on it. I should have just done it the first time. If I'd saw it, I would have, because playing with stain, especially wet stain, is not fun. But I let this dry and I just lightly sanded it. I never get wood filler right, never. No matter what project I do, I'm just not meant to play with wood filler. filler. So I usually end up doing the wood filler, letting it dry, lightly sanding it, and then staining over it if I'm doing a stain. And then I have to go back in, and after I poly that stain, I have to put a little bit of stain and poly on the nail holes again just to make them blend, because I have a really hard time blending in this wood filler with a stain. I can do it over paint all day long. I can paint over wood filler all day long. Anybody can. But when it comes to stain, it's really, really tricky for me. To stain it, I'm just using a staining pad, and it is like a sponge, like a Scrub Daddy sponge, like one of the soft ones. It was stress relieving, and I'm using Jacobian to stain it by Minwax.
They say you should try to find yourself. I got stuck in the valley. They say never try to hide yourself, but I spent all of my money on California. Did I arrive too late? Did I make you wait? California. Now tell me where you've been and everything you've seen. California. Did I arrive too late? Did I make you wait? California. Now tell me where you've been and everything you've seen.
I have done about everything when it comes to staining. This is the first time I ever used a staining pad, but I have done a paper towel staining. I have done a toilet paper staining. I've done a wash rag staining. One of my cleaning rags, one of the microfiber cloths. I've done a paintbrush and wipe away staining. I've done finger staining. I've done it all. And this one's by far the easiest to do. You just got to make sure you don't get too much of the product on the sponge, or it'll become very just like sopped and you won't be able to stain and then wipe away, because what you want to do is you want to stain like you see me doing here. You stain with the side that you have the stain on, and then with the side that doesn't have much stain on it, you wipe it away just so you don't have it unless you like it really, really dark. And then if you like it really, really dark, I wouldn't just do one really, really heavy coat of stain at once. I would gradually do just medium normal coats on it until you get it to the darkness that you like it. I just like the one coat of stain when it comes to Jacobian. So I just do the one coat and then I wipe away the excess, and that's how I get it to look like I do. I know a lot of people have said Jacobian for them is really dark and Jacobian's really light. It just differs with how you apply it. I've applied it several different ways. It always comes out the same color because I always do just one normal coat of stain and then I wipe off the excess. Excess. I think it's excess. Why does that sound so weird?
Like I was falling through the air. No one but myself to hold my hand. Standing in the shadows of what we have been. Sleeping with your back facing me. I know this isn't us. Baby, pull me closer, let's fall in love. Oh, I can feel my body move to every move you make, and I can feel the tension every time we're close. I know whatever happens, I will have you next to me. 'Cause tonight we have it all. We're dancing as one. 'Cause we're dancing as one.
I wanted particular picture frames. Why is that? See, Sally's so seashore. Why seashore? But I wanted particular picture frames, and the ones on Etsy were crazy expensive. So I got an idea that I could just find the picture frames at Hobby Lobby of the measurements that I wanted, and then I could have Shane just kind of build a frame around them, and then he took it to the extra mile. So I was just planning to have a frame in front of the picture frame that we bought from the Hobby Lobby, just like the, it's the black round poster picture frames. And Shane decided to just use the backing of that as a stencil, and he got these things right here, which are just really, really big picture holder backer things in them. So like, you know how like on the back of a picture frame you have those things you twist around and it keeps the picture in the position it's in? That's what these are. So he came up with this all on his own. This is all his creativity. I was literally going to slap a frame on top of the already picture frame that we got from Hobby Lobby, and he took it to the extra mile and did it this way. So he just used the backing and the clear front of the picture frame from Hobby Lobby, and he created a frame around it. And then he used these little brackets here that you saw, that twist. That way I can interchange the pictures if I ever want to change them out. And then he just found some of these little things so that we could easily hang up the picture frame. We could have done it several different ways. We just saw these on the end cap at Hobby Lobby and grabbed them. But now I don't have to just stay with one picture. I can change these out through the seasons or do whatever I want to do. He made it so that I could literally change them out whenever. It was so creative, so stinking creative. I couldn't get these exact measurements that I needed for these poster picture frames. I couldn't get those printed off at Walgreens, so I just got a regular, as large as they come poster like I have in my hallway. I just got one of those posters, and I made sure I got one that had a center, a very small center that I could cut out so that my kids were kind of grouped into it so that I could basically make it look like I just had that picture printed out. So I needed a lot of space around the focal point of the picture so I could cut it out. So I came up with two pictures. Friend Stevie, she did our pictures, I think it was a couple years ago, and there were two that the kids were far in the background and there was a lot of background space around them. So I cut those out and I was able to get two kids in each picture so that I didn't have to do 3 of these picture frames. I was originally going to do 3 of these on the wall opposite of these with the shelves on the other side of the window, but that was a lot. Like, it would look kind of crowded whenever I put them up there to kind of get a vision of how it would look. So I wanted to just do 2, so it was good that I found pictures that I could cut out and would still look good with both of them having 2 of the kiddos in it, so I could showcase all 4 of my kiddos off.
We've been in 2 places all at once. Was that what we said would come undone? Feels like our minds have
I found these corded puck lights at Lowe's, and I wanted corded because I'm over batteries. I have batteries in the puck lights in the girls' room, and we have to constantly change out those batteries. So I wanted wired puck lights, which was a pain in the butt because that's why we had to recess these lights, but I wasn't having it any other way. Peep the sticker I was telling y'all about.
You and me are moving, make sure we get through this. Let's just keep on dancing as one. You and me are moving, make sure we get through this. Let's just keep on dancing as one.
Other than 2 large pillows for the couch, I didn't buy any more decor. I wanted to use things I already had. Obviously, I bought the picture frames, but other than that, I didn't buy anything else. I just wanted to use what I had, see what I had. Kind of hadn't seen it in a while. Half of that stuff I forgot it was even in the closet, so it was all really new to me. While we were doing this refresh, in the smack dab middle of doing this refresh, we noticed all of the places on the wall that needed to be fixed. So within this series of videos, there are going to be videos like this, which is, you know, it was a big deal. Those recess lights were not easy, but it's not anything big compared to what other videos we have planned and other DIYs and stuff we have planned for this particular area. So some of them are going to be like this, where it's just us working our tail end off to get a bunch of little things or medium-sized things done, and then some of it's going to be large, where we're working our tail off to get large things done, and then some of it's going to be us going in here and doing touch-ups to the walls, getting the nail holes taken care of, getting all the extra things taken care of, probably threading the wire, the original wire from those puck lights, probably threading it through the wall, fixing areas on the floor that you guys probably have noticed have been messed up because we were moving furniture around. Some of our planks were damaged, so we'll have to be fixing those. So there'll be videos within this series that are very different. Some big old changes and some little changes, but all of it adds up to a big old change in the living room. If y'all struggle with like your hands and your brain like I do, you guys need to get you some of these picture frames. They are the easiest picture frames to load, and they're the cheapest that Walmart carries in the Mainstays brand. They're front loaders, so you just load them from the front, and they changed my life. You can see by my face here, I'm concentrating so hard because usually it takes me hours, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm an exaggerative person. I'm not exaggerating when I say it takes me hours to change pictures out of a picture frame because I'm just, my hands don't want to do what my mind's telling them to. They go off and they do their own thing. But these picture frames changed the game for me, so I probably will not be getting any other kinds of picture frames. These are very simple, but I kind of like that. I kind of like the fact that they're simple. I got black rimmed ones because I didn't know if I was going to go with the white painted shelves or the Jacobian stained shelves. Regardless, I think it goes good with both the Jacobian, and it would have went well with the white. I do want to add a little bit more of white onto my shelves. I just don't want that Cracker Barrel look, and I feel like what I was playing with already when it comes to the shelf decor, I feel like I was getting really close to Cracker Barrel territory. So I kind of want to just add a few touches of decor, just some greenery and stuff, and then mostly focus on the pictures because that's the whole point of making those shelves, was to showcase off my family.
I've been on my spaceship counting stars since '94, waiting for someone to come and knock on my door, looking for someone who'd be the Venus to my Mars. Why does love always have to be this hard? Got me feeling like
You could kind of see there what I was talking about having a lot of background space in a particular picture for these picture frames so that I could cut them out, kind of sliver them out to the size I needed them to be in order to fit in here and to look right. You didn't want it to look weird. You didn't want it to be like uncentered or anything like that. So I just found pictures that I thought would be easily centered and easily slivered down to fit into these frames, and then I put them black and white. And I did all this using my phone, y'all. I made them black and white using my phone, and then I just ordered them quickly off of Walgreens and went and picked them up using my phone. The technology, y'all. 2023 makes life so easy. You can tell here, though, how Shane repurposed those little metal things to use them for the backing of the picture frame and how well they work to hold it in. So anytime I don't want that picture in, I just have to move them over, scoot the picture back of the picture frame down, and then I can change out the picture. Right here is when we started noticing a lot of areas on the wall. You can see there, that's been there forever to the left underneath the picture frames. That's been there forever. We've been meaning to change it. We've had the stuff to change it for forever. We just haven't got to it, mostly because before the holidays, the couch was covering it, so I really saw no point to, because the couch was just going to do it again because that's what did it. And then the holidays happened and I just haven't done it. But it's been like that for a while, and we're going to be taking care of that in this video. We're going to be taking care of things like that around the living room, even little issues that the lights really show off now on the shelving area. I mean, even little things, we're going to touch those up and make it look spick and span and just like a clean touch, like caulk does. You know how caulk just makes your project look super, super clean and just fresh? That's what we're going for in this video. This was a pain in the butt. I found this and there she went. I went down. Man down. And then I get smacked in the face. Look, I'm about to get knocked out right here. And Shane's just so amused. But I found this at Ross, and I really, really liked the color scheme of it. It has some white, it has some grayish, which is the color of my walls. I get asked that a lot. It's Stone Harbor Grayish by Color Place. I get asked that more than anything. What color walls are your living room walls? They're Stone Harbor Grayish by Color Place. But it had that grayish color. It had the gray color I was incorporating into my living room, and it had the white, but not too much white to look dookie stained after my kiddos and my dogs walk all over it. So it was the perfect touch that I needed in a rug.
Chapter 10. Becky Harris looks out her daughter's bedroom window at the side of the house, obscured by the curtain. From here, she can see the street below and the Pierce house next door. She spots Olivia out for a walk.
The fact that you have me going from side to side doing this, and you look like a girl. This is a late night at our home.
She thinks they must be. They stand in front of the house for a moment from behind the window. She knows they will be our house. She tries to ignore how anxious she feels. She doesn't want to talk to
Your friend the other day heard you've been trying to reach me. Good luck with that. I threw my phone into the pool. There's no reason.
She can't help it. His mom's crying. She's sobbing so hard she can't answer the question. No one pushes the box.
Knew the rules.
Here she comes with her triangle fold.
They invited me over. No one was home at my house.
Like a daggone grilled cheese sandwich. Here it comes. Oh, that's what I'm going to call that fold. It's a grilled cheese sandwich.
What, my little...
Yeah, how you do the triangle fold?
I'm not going to do the triangle fold.
The weekend she went missing.
Oh, we're going to try a different shape. I like it blanket, though. It's not perfect, is it?
No. Hey, help me.
Oh, yeah, that's going to fix it.
She adds, I'm sure he's worried that will make him look bad. What? Detective Moen says. Why? Becky asks,
No.
startled.
You better run for your life. It's over. It's over. Let's not waste our time. Remember, it's over. We've been through this before. Over and over. Let's not waste our time. Remember, it's over. It's over. Doesn't really matter what.
If you are on Instagram, you recognize that first aid Sherpa blanket back there. I was on Instagram trying to figure out if I was going to get that or not from TJ Maxx. Sometimes you just got to get it because you like it. And I like that little one in the corner. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I hope y'all have a blessed morning, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Know that I love you, but Jesus loves you more. I'll see y'all in the next one.